Industries being one of the leading defense contractors and everything, and that White House dinner when we met President Eisenhower and Dick Nixon, stuff like that. And then there's your mom and dad. They're so nice to me, it's almost spooky. The first time I met them, it was as if they expected you to bring me home, and they knew we were going to get married.
Get Mom to show you her crystal ball sometime, Naile laughed. I never told you about her gypsy blood, did I? And was that a yes, about being happy you married me?
Audrey turned her face up toward him and kissed his cheek. She whispered, "Yes, silly." Her right hand drifted under his jacket, one smooth finger finding an opening between two shirt buttons.
Quit that.
He wedged his knees against the steering wheel for a split second and feigned a slap at her hand. "Why'd they make such a big deal about us coming up on a weekday?"
Audrey did that sort of thing, picking up a conversation almost randomly. This one dated from when they'd first gotten into the car almost 2 hours earlier.
"I mean, it's always good to see them. I really love your folks. But you said you had a lot of stuff to do at the office with that new rocket shooter thing and—"
"Beats me, babe," he told Audrey honestly. "All Dad said was that nothing could interfere with us being here this afternoon, not even prototyping the launcher."
Although John Naile handled the day-to-day running of Horizon Industries with a relatively free hand, his father was still president, chairman of the board, and chief executive officer. Why Horizon was developing an inexpensively produced, disposable rocket launcher without any indication that the Pentagon was looking for one was something John Naile had never fully understood. With the apparent rush on the research and development so they could move into prototyping, wiping out a full day to come up to the estate was even more enigmatic.
"I really don't know," he added lamely, "but Dad'll tell us."
The weather WLS was reporting for Chicago didn't match at all what John Naile saw through the Cadillac's windshield. Usually, central Wisconsin would have worse weather this time of year, but on this day, at this moment, it was a classically beautiful November landscape through which they drove. They'd been on the grounds of the estate since 20 feet or so after leaving the county highway, and suddenly he was reminded of the musical Camelot, the song that Richard Burton sang about the sheer perfection of that mythical kingdom's climate. This was such a place this day, and John Naile wouldn't have been too much surprised to learn that James Naile had decreed it thus. John Naile glanced at his watch and compared the Rolex to the dashboard clock. Surprisingly, they were in perfect agreement that the time was a few minutes after noon. "You know how Dad's pushing how great Cadillacs are and everything? I'll say one thing, the clock keeps time." "I still like the seats, John." Audrey Naile pulled her legs up under her and nuzzled her nose against his cheek.
"Is that okay for you to sit like that, all scrunched up and everything?"
"I'm not that pregnant, John. It's still okay for me to do a lot of stuff."
John Naile murmured.
Indeed. Maybe after we leave your parents' place, we can—"
"Why don't we spend the night at Lake Lawn Lodge?" John Naile suggested.
"I don't have any clothes with me, John."
"You won't need any for what I've got in mind. Besides, we can buy what we need, or you can borrow something from Mom."
"Gee, Mary Ann, could I borrow some stockings and underwear? Your son and I are going to go misbehave and—"
"Hush," he scolded his wife good-naturedly.
The road was just about to split at the driveway leading to the main house, the fork to the left leading deeper into the property. The turn was a little sharp, and John Naile slowed the Cadillac before making the right. Audrey sat up and smoothed her dress. She slid over fully into the passenger side, turned down the visor, and began adjusting her hat and her hair in the vanity mirror. As always, she wore very little makeup. When she woke up beside him each morning, she looked as perfect as if she'd spent hours in front of a mirror. All of this, the very comfortable living he made, the estate which someday he would inherit, and all the other family investments, was thanks to David Naile, who founded Horizon Industries in 1914 and never made a bad investment in his life. Phenomenal business judgment seemed to be a family trait. James Naile, David's son, and John's father bought large blocks of stock in obscure companies that always grew into dependable profitability. Who would have figured IBM would have gotten so high?